You see this bucket? This is our Maui economy, a terrifyingly accurate one. I'm going to use it to explain the UHERO study and the difference between GDP and capital inflow, what removing short-term vacation rentals would really mean to Maui. All the water that you see represents GDP. The stuff flowing into the bucket, out of the bucket, even the stuff circulating in the bucket is all part of GDP. Now we've got 4 hoses pouring water into the top of the bucket. These are the primary sources of money coming into Maui. The biggest 3, hotels, hotel zone condos, and Minatoya vacation rentals. These make up 70% of all capital inflow. The legally vacation rentable is the Minatoya one right here. Together, they keep our bucket full. This is the community all floating inside it. We're the little fish swimming around inside. But money doesn't stay in the bucket forever. It leaks out. It does. Whenever we import food, whenever we buy a car, electronics, fuels like diesel, gasoline, any supply that we get from the mainland typically is going to be leaking out of the bucket. Now here's the kicker. Only about 35% of Maui's GDP officially comes from tourism, but tourism represents 60 to 70% of all the actual cash flowing in, meaning 3 of the 4 hoses. It's not about how big GDP looks on paper, it's about how much fresh water is coming in to keep the system alive. Now GDP doesn't just measure what comes in, it measures all the water, even the stuff that we scoop up and re-spend in the economy. If I play a local handyman who pays a grocer, who pays a delivery driver, that circulation and all of it is part of the GDP measurement that you see. So when they say 45%, they're only measuring this, not everything else. Let's say we shut off just one of the 3 hoses, the Minatoya SCRs. Now that's going to be this one right here. According to UHERO, even the UHERO conservative estimates are $900 million a year. But here's where the numbers get messy. UHERO claims that would only reduce GDP by approximately 4%. But 900 million is 7.6% of Maui's 12 billion GDP. In terms of raw cash flowing into the island, that's more like 15% of Maui's capital inflow, which is still dramatically under all other economic estimates. That's not just a trickle. That's a major drop in the water level. Now let's talk about income. The UHERO report quietly estimates that the average household income on Maui would drop from $109,000 to about $99,000. That's nearly a 10% pay cut for every household on island. And that's in addition to the hit we've already taken from the fires and the downturn in tourism. If we're making about $50,000 a year, that means you're going to be making $5,000 less in your pocket. If you're making $200,000, that's going to mean you're down about $20,000. With less money circulating, businesses will make less, spend less, hire less, and that's not a theory, that's a mathematical fact. Let's take restaurants as an example. UHERO admits that food and beverage businesses would lose $171 million a year on their estimates. And those are conservative estimates. That's 20% of those restaurants' income. Now, let me ask you, how many restaurants can survive on a 20% drop in sales? Not many, especially in areas like South Kihei, Honoka'i, or Napili, where the Minatoya rentals are more concentrated. Places like the Triangle in Kihei, they could be wiped out and shuttered completely. The economic impact will be disproportionately devastating in neighborhoods near these rentals. And these aren't hotels. These are areas where visitors directly support local business, not just corporate life. And the idea that these visitors will just move to hotels, that doesn't hold water either. People who stay in these vacation rentals aren't coming for 3 nights. They stay for 2, 3, possibly more weeks at a time. And they want a kitchen. They want a washer and dryer. They want room for their family. They don't want to spend $500 a night on a hotel room with no laundry, no kitchen, and a tiny fridge with a $40 breakfast. So are they going to be rebooked? Maybe, but it's likely going to be for significantly less time. They'll spend far less money, and many won't rebook at all. Meanwhile, the UHERO study says this will only cost us 1,900 jobs. Do you think 1,900 jobs is all this economic loss? No. Other economists say job losses would likely be in excess of 10,000. Why the huge gap? Because UHERO underestimates how deep the multiplier effect really is for STRs. And they don't just pay property managers, they support cleaners, landscapers, rental companies, restaurants, tour guides, artists, accountants, attorneys, farmers, and all their families. The most importantly of all that brings into this capital is that we all survive on it. There's less for us to swim around in here. When you shut off this hose, you're not just removing the stream of water, you're shifting the whole balance of the bucket. The water level drops, the economy shrinks, and when that happens, many of us will be left high and dry. I'm Clint Hansen. I hope this has helped clarify what's at stake. And if you've got questions, comments, or want me to break something else down, just let me know in the comments below. Aloha.